Alright, it's summertime in the inland northwest, and up here in the mountains, it is a time of plenty. With a little bit of research and a little bit of effort, you can really stockpile some good wild edibles for your pantry for the rest of the year. I'm going to make this video fairly short and encourage you to do your own research for your area, and you'll probably find there's more out there than you think. So let's check out some of the things that are ready for picking right now that we're up here gathering. Alright, so the first thing we're after is some red raspberries. If you don't know what a raspberry bush looks like, go ahead and do a search for it, especially for your area, because they do look a little bit different throughout different regions. As you can see here, we got a small red clustered berry, and they're very good. And if they pick easy, that means they're ripe. Just be careful, these plants are full of thorns. Now right next to the red raspberries, oftentimes you'll find black raspberries. Almost the same thing, the plant looks very similar. They're a sticker bush or a briar type deal. But as you can see, the berries are much, much darker. A little more savory, not quite as sweet, not quite as tart. Very good. Lots of ripe ones right here. Alright, the next thing that we've got out here is what's called the thimbleberry. Now these grow mainly, well, they grow all over up here, but you'll very often see huge piles of these growing alongside roads. Of course, you want to be careful of that. You don't want to pick right off a road where there's a bunch of junk all over that and then you're going to eat it. But oftentimes you can get up a little ways and find these tucked into shaded areas, somewhat well drained. They're very common up here, but they're a very fragile berry. They don't last very long, so you want to use them right away or process and freeze them right away or dry them, very good dried. It looks very similar to a raspberry. Much denser berry cluster. They do have a lot more seeds, but very tasty. And you can see here, here's a good shot of this. Ripe and gone, ripe and pickable, not quite ripe yet. There's a good shot of the leaf. And of course, you can do some research, look these up for your local area, because they will change regionally what they look like. In my area, I probably see more of these than any other berry plant, but they typically don't put a lot of berries out per stalk. So you don't get as many of them growing in the same area. Yeah, you gotta basically drive a little further to pick more of these. Just be very careful, because bears like berries too. So take precautions for that. Alright, let's go look for something else. Alright, so I think I've saved the best for last. And that is the huckleberry. Most people know about a huckleberry. In the inland northwest, Pacific Northwest, we have literal mountains of them. This whole forest floor back here is covered in huckleberry bushes. And there's no thorns on the bush, and the berry is it's sweet and a little tart. It's a good mix. They do really well for baking, making jams, dried, put them in yogurt or cereal. They're really good. And people come from all over the place to pick them by the bucket full. Check your local laws and all that stuff. So you want to do your own research and look them up in your area, because the plant can change its looks a little bit regionally, and there are a couple different types of huckleberry plants. This one right here is a smaller one, but there is a larger one, and they're mixed in where the berries are actually much larger. Fewer berries per plant, but they're a larger berry. Anyways, these are really good. Alright, let's take a closer look. So you can see the plant here with the berry. Lots of berries, and they're all over in here. So there are some specialized tools you can get. little berry rakes, berry basket gatherer things. We don't use those, we just pick them by hand. Alright, I hope this video is useful to you, and I want to stress that it's not necessarily intended to be an identification of specific plants. I'm hoping that this will be more of an encouragement for people who haven't yet to learn what's out there in their local area that they could potentially go out and gather and bring home, finding those things that are local resources that you can utilize. You get familiar with the land, with the plants, with the animals, all associated with those resources. And you'll kind of passively learn a lot of skills just going out and getting some delicious food that you can bring home and share with your family and friends. So I hope this is an encouragement to you. I hope that you guys get a chance to get out there and enjoy the outdoors. And if you've got any information you'd like to share or stories you'd like to share, put them down in the comments. I always enjoy reading those. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. We don't need all of them. Is it good? You gonna pick them all? What you doing? Go get her. Go get her.